cause, Inquisitor, when so many others have not. For every heretic we confess, for every betrayer that burns on our pyres, new sheep continue to flock to Iavara Exencios. But not you. I underestimated you in the beginning, but no longer.
Hello and welcome. This is Sahara playing Pillars of Eternity, the White March. We're in Elms Reach, I believe it's the name of this place. I walked by this bridge and this conversation popped up, so we're talking to Thaos. I believe it's a memory. Yeah, because it's in purple. You honor me, Grand Inquisitor. It is not
for honor that I summoned you today, but for duty. Too many of our own have confessed upon the wheel and the rack and the flame. Too many of our faithful have had their minds poisoned by the Kratom Witch. The tide is against us now.
The Kratom Witch? Okay.
We have but one option. Iavara's following must see her exposed for what she is. She must confess her heresy before my court.
How would we reach her?
Not in Kratom, surely. Their lord has embraced her heathen faith and protects her with his army. But in Oceanus, things would be different. The king of Oceanus is a sinful man. We have helped him to see the error of his ways, and now he fears for his soul. He would pay any price for absolution.
But how would we get her to move to Osimos, whatever the name is? Oh, didn't.
You have already done much for the Inquisition. I wouldn't ask this were there any other choice.
Well, how come I didn't? Did I skip something? Did something skip? But how would we get her to move to... Yeah. Yeah, there must have been something skipped because that makes no sense, what he said. Anyway, I'm on my way over here to the Golden Grove. The Golden Grove. And...
Margaret's fire casts light in dark places.
The guard. You protect the life of the Golden Grove. Okay. The High Ovid has tended to the grove for centuries. Have you come to the Golden Grove seeking an herbalist? Oh, this is who we need to talk to. Golden leaves flash and shine as they fall from the trees.
Hail, Estramor.
This is Tamron. Though his eyes are closed and his posture still, the man before you keeps his head aimed at you, as if carefully following your movements. Hail to you, may your time in the Golden Grove be enriching. And hail to you, Autumn Orlin, the man says with a bow to Rebecca's eyes widens in surprise, and his one good ear stands on end. How on Eor did you? The man's eyes remain closed, and he says with a smile, tranquility begets a receptive mind. He opens his eyes, revealing brown irises clouded with the beginning of cataracts. With my eyes open, I see your birth form, but when I look inward, and with this he closes his eyes again, I see the autumn Stegler. Now let him talk. I don't know how you can sense it, but you're right about me being the Stegler. What do you know about the beast? Why was I ostracized just for being able to assume its form? Is there a cure? Taiwan smiles, his eyes remain closed. I know the beast is often sent by Gallowin as a sort of trial. Many Anabapian are tested by the Autumn Stegler. Those bested and consumed by the beast have their soul torn from their bodies and lost for all time. Wow, so they can't ever reincarnate. So, my tribesmen were right. Herzebek looks crestfallen, his posture slumps, his gaze drops to the ground. Are you saying I have such a terrible power? This must be some sort of... If your spirit form were a bee, would you be mystically compelled to make honey? Were it a bird, would you spend all day making nests? He opens his eyes once more and looks him up and down before wincing and shutting his eyes once more. I am saying this is what the animal your form resembles is known to do. It seems you are eager to leap to your own conclusions. I would not normally advise one to speak with the circle at Blood Sands, but, given your circumstances, the Elic Knoll may prove of insightful. He turns, and with his eyes still closed, points to the northwest. Read the stone slabs carved by the druids of the Blood Sand. There are answers to be found, as well as more questions, but you must explore them for yourself. And I had cataracts quite a bit. I had cataracts, and I let them get really bad. So yeah, they do make your eyes refract light really odd. What exactly is written on those stones? Much of it is utter rubbish on the insistent need for sacrifice. His calm countenance wavers as he says that last word with spit and a hiss. But amongst the dogma are a few bits of wisdom on Gallowin your friend will understand. Is there any more you can tell us? Only to trust in Gallowin and trust in Wall. Both have blessed you in their own difficult ways. Haven't they? I appreciate the attempt to lift my spirits, he grumbles, but that doesn't really help. He sighs and digs into his ear stump with his index finger. But he has a point. I still trust Wall has something to show me in the Blood Sands. Well, let's get going then. So that updated your quest. Alright, investigate the stone tablets within Blood Sands. Okay, we will do that. Okay, I need to put back on my
quickly and quietly
scouting in case something comes up. The bark feels warm. The roots almost seem to twine around your hand. Some more of them. Golden leaves, flash. Can we come up here? None of them have anything to say because... Oh, an elk with placid green eyes nods in greeting. Welcome to the Golden Grove, traveler.
Builder's wisdom to you.
Do you seek the wisdom of our herbalists or simply to bask in Ritha's glory? Who leads your order? High Opta Eora leads us. She sometimes journeys to Elm's Shore to renew her strength. However, she's there now with some of her closest followers, in fact. Emora is a mighty elm among us. She's lived for generations. There are none who understand the world as well as she, and we are fortunate to have her wisdom to answer our questions. I'd like to know about Eoram. Her eyes brighten. Why, you must meet her for yourself. She is wise and kind, and she has led our order from the beginning. Yes, she walks among us and gives freely of herself. She turns her gaze to the great twisting elms. This is what so many of us cherish about her. She is present among us in a way that the gods never are. So she's a tree, and yet she's alive? So tell me about the Golden Grove. We are the Olvats, druids, philosophers, and students of nature. We gather here to share our knowledge and celebration. She gestures to another elven woman standing near the entrance to the grove. Many travelers come to us for poultices and remedies. Beletha understands the cures and poisons of nature like no other. And what do you believe? We believe that knowledge is found in the earliest exploration of the natural world. She tilts her head. We do not, as some have said, oppose the gods. We simply believe that we have found a brighter, more peaceful path than devotion. Okay. So I thought she was going to give us a quest or something, but I guess not. Alright, she's the only one that was named up there. Let's come down here and talk to you.
Hail, Estremor.
The elf holds a chipped wooden pipe. The sweet smoke wafting from the bowl makes you dizzy. Welcome, Estimor. I've got herbs and potions for sale. Looking for something to ease your travels, or something to make them more interesting? When she grins, you see her teeth and gums are stained brown. Yep, from smoking. Hebertsek sniffs at the air, his smile growing wider with each twitch of his nose. White leaf, he says with a smile. I once ate a porcupine whole while smashed on white leaf. I miss those days. Okay. I hear you can make certain poisons. She takes a deep draw on her pipe. Poisons? I only deal in tonics that heal and enlighten. She exhales a puff of smoke. Of course, many beneficial substances can be harmful when taken in great quantities, but that's what Werthia's way of keeping all things in balance. Really? What kind of substances? She leans against a winding tree trunk and ticks the items off on her fingers. There's plenty. Concentrated Golan, undistilled spider venom, rotten blood moss extract, cave coral mixed with ski bone. Sure, I'd like some of that concentrated whatever. She stops counting and scratches her head. What would you want with something like this? Well, my friend Stegler is dying and he wants to ease the creature's passing. I just thought I'd experiment and see what happens. Don't want to die. I don't want to lie. Because that's lying. I just thought I'd experiment to see what happens. Her eyes brighten. An herbalist yourself, are you? Well, actually, I am. Here, take this. She gives you a vial filled with a dark fluid. That should keep you busy for a while. Only use a little at a time and see that it doesn't get misplaced. Half that dose would kill an amana. Slowly, perhaps, but surely. She taps ash from her pipe into the glass. Was there anything else I can do for you? Well, let me see your stocks. Flask of war paint. What does war paint do? Accuracy, damage. I suppose I need some of this stuff from my herbs, but I think I can get some of this stuff from my own area. Minor regeneration. Oops. Minor regeneration is for what? Alright, restoring energy and liveliness. Yes, I do need these. I don't know how to split them out though. That's the only thing. I gotta figure out how to split them out. Potion of power is minor endurance, iron skin, major regeneration, major endurance, major recovery. These potions are generally good to avoid. Regeneration. Powers are 2 endurance. Wait, what? Recovery or regeneration? Endurance. We want the regeneration. Okay. And major endurance. Wow, that's a lot of endurance. Okay, I mean, I got all this money, you know. Alright. So, sacrificial. I already have the poison. I still can take the baby and bring her to in Blood Sands to follow through with. Yeah. Okay, so I need to go over here to Blood Sands. Okay.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay, do we have another flashback here? Oh, what's this? Zeta. Two identical women seem to fade into view as they don't fading mean to disappear. Whatever. Fade into view as they move away from the green trees that camouflage them. Oh, these are the twins. Their skin is tree bark, rigid and scaly, wreathed in a curling tangle of roots, buds, and blooms. Their hair hangs beneath the shade of serrated leaves like the drooping branches of the elms above, and the pupils of their eyes are encircled by hundreds of even thousands of concentric rings as if to mark the accumulated wisdom of millennium. Well, they probably are that old.
Turn around, flesh creature. Outsiders are not permitted to approach the elms.
One of them extends a snarl of roots towards you that snakes and twists together to form something like an open hand, palm down. The other stares at you unblinking, and as her frown deepens, her face creaks. Do you not feel it, sister? Something familiar, an ancestor soul, like the other one, another defiler, no doubt. Let us fell her and be troubled no more. It would pay the debts of our predecessor. What?
So it would seem, Rhiannon. But we must not hasten to judgment. I see a different motive here. Different questions in these eyes.
What of it, young trespasser? Is it as my sister says? Or are you here to stain this place with foul deeds?
I seek a man who came through here. It sounds as though you have already met him. My business concerns the health of this land, and you would be wise to... I forgot my purpose in the presence of such legendary beauty. I'll gladly burn this place down. No. I seek a man who came through here. It seems as though you have already met him. There, by her own admission, Shida.
Really, sister? And you wonder why your leaves begin to fall out before midsummer. Clearly that man did not want to be followed. Whatever the relationship here, I suspect it is anything but cordial.
Okay.
The answer is yes, old one. We crossed paths with Thaos not long ago, and we can tell you where he went. But I find it curious that anyone would seek him out. Suspicious, even. If we are to help you find him, we would know why.
I have a problem, and he's the only one who can fix it. Stopping him might end Waldwin's legacy. True. He must face justice for his transgressions. That's true. He crossed me. I intend to get my revenge. We seem to be linked, and I need to know why. I don't truly know myself. My reasons are my own. Stopping him might end Waldwin's legacy. Now, that's true.
So that is the reason he passed this way. This is low, even for the leaden key.
Oh, you know he's a leaden key.
I told you we should have confronted him, Sheila. He has always been a poison.
It would have been the last thing we ever did, sister. Who can be said to have ever gotten the better of Thaos?
Yes, but imagine how much fun it would have been. Can't you just picture him all strung up in vines like an angry little puppet?
But that's not what this is really about, is it? You are bound to that man.
She glances over at you, and then her expression changes as though seeing you for the first time. Yeah, I am bound to him.
I see it now. You are awakened. Your soul is awake, and something once buried deep now wells to the surface. Past overwhelms present, closes in around you. Your time has nearly reached its end.
I just need to get to Thaos.
I am sorry to tell you this, but Thaos cannot give you what you seek. Nor can any man. An awakening cannot be undone, any more than your past can be undone.
I kind of thought maybe that was going to be it, because you can't undo a past. What's she mean? I thought Mirawad said... Ila's face is rigid. This is permanent? Sagia's gaze flickers to you. I'm sorry. Durant, we did not come down this road together to be refused a passage by a pair of talking saplings. So this has all been for nothing, and I'm going to lose my mind.
The soul is formless without a past to shape it. Did you truly expect to be able to wipe it away?
No, but I had hoped it would be something I could forget. I would live with it if I could. That or kill the man who brought it up. I had to believe in something. I'd rather have tried to put things right. Yeah, I would have tried to put things right. A noble thought, but for the lifetimes that separate you from your problems. A noble thought, but for the lifetimes that unfortunate.
However, as much as my sister speaks truly that there is no way back from an awakening, there may yet be a way forward. Would you agree, Shiva?
I would. Were the way not so likely to end in death.
Death may be preferable to what lies in store for me. Yep.
It may, but not all deaths are alike, and the man you pursue is versed in thousands of them.
Yeah, I know he is.
The man Thaos you must already know by now. You are linked by a common past. Something about it lingers within you, festering, unresolved. What it is I cannot see any more than you. And without that knowledge, your doom is certain.
Okay.
But were you to learn the source of this discord, perhaps it could be put to rest. Though it is equally possible it will trouble you as much now as it did then, and merely speed your condition to its end.
My past comes to me in pieces. How do I unlock the rest?
You might wait for it to come on its own, of course. But when it comes, it will replace your sanity's last breath. Such is the nature of your condition.
Dire indeed.
Or you could learn it from someone who already knows.
Thaos, would he remember?
It is said the gods made his memory perfect, that he may never forget his charge. If he ever knew, he still does.
Okay.
Not that he would tell you, of course.
Yeah, that's my thought also.
You have followed the right person for the wrong reason, it seems. We see it often beneath the elms. The soul dragging mind and body to unknown places for unfathomable reasons. You may have wandered into Thaos's path many times, in many lifetimes, without an awakening to show you why.
The only thing that's certain is you did not find what you sought.
You said you know where he went.
He has gone down beneath the tower to a place older than we, where the people of Engwith once walked. He makes his way to the buried city, Sun and Shadow.
Okay.
May he stay down there and rot with the remains of his people.
He may yet. He won't be returning the way he came, that much is certain. He opened a secret path in the tower's base, and saw it destroyed behind him through some vile means.
Is there another way to get to him?
We know of one. On the burial isle, through the court of the penitents, Braeth Yaman. A shortcut, in fact.
Yeah, but what do I have to go through? Shortcuts are not always easy.
Don't be cruel, sister. The way my sister speaks of is not for the faint of heart.
That's what I thought.
A great pit at the center of a forgotten court, where faiths were judged in place of crimes. To most, it is simply a gateway to death. With the help of the gods, it can take you where you want to go.
What do you mean with the help of the gods?
The pit is said to have been a means of judgment by the gods. Those cast into it are meant to die. It is that way you must pass to reach Sun and Shadow. The court is old. We do not know much for certain, but it would seem only the gods themselves can grant passage.
And what is this court?
No more than a ruin now. It is older than we, a place for the trial of heretics. We were not here to witness it, but at one time there was a group that refused to acknowledge the gods. Neither the first nor the last, of course, but these were numerous and all put on trial for it. Those who did not repent were cast into the pit and imprisoned below.
So there's going to be a lot of nasties at the bottom if I survive the fall. Okay.
The fall killed them, of course. The prison was not for people, but for their souls, and their sentences were eternal. It is said that many of the condemned repented and were permitted by the gods to ascend from the pit, so long as they pledged their service to one of them. But these are old legends.
How would I ever get the gods to help me?
Behind us is Ter Evron, said to pierce the shroud itself and a place of communion with all gods. If ever there was a time for prayer, you have found it.
So the only way to get through this pit is to pray for help?
Not the only way. Just the only one that doesn't end with your body impaled on jagged rocks.
And who would I pray for? Or pray to? Any god you can, I should think.
I would pray first to those gods you like best. I hope for your sake, the feeling is shared.
Is there no other way?
None.
And how do I pray?
Ter Evron is also called the Hall of Stars, and the stars show us the allegiances of the gods. When stars are in conjunction, we know the gods they represent are aligned as well.
Oh boy. Okay, astrology.
You should choose a place to pray where you'll be closest to those you want to hear you. If a god stands alone, you should pray to that god. If they band together, you should address them all. Choose your words wisely, for all gods expect proper homage, and none has patience for fools.
That is true. I don't believe in a god. I have other questions.
What do you wish to know?
How did you know I was pursuing Thaos?
The same way that you are no doubt able to peer into the ether and experience the souls of others. It is something we are born with, some more, some less. A gift common to many creatures of the wilds. You share certain similarities with the man you pursue. For your sake, I pray they are few and of no consequence.
Me too. You mentioned that people come to these elms without knowing why. A soul has a will of its own. A soul has a will all its own. Its needs and whims are seldom understood, but they follow them all the same.
There is something about this place that reaches beyond our understanding, something like a beacon. The elms have a way of uniting souls that have been seeking one another, with or without their owner's awareness. Sometimes it is for love, sometimes for vengeance, sometimes for peace. Often it is for no reason we will ever know. In your case, let us hope it is for peace.
Or vengeance.
I want to know about the two of you.
There is little to be said about us, for we are bound here, caretakers and defenders of this place. Our journey has been over time, but not distance, measured in observations, but not experiences.
That would be kind of sad and lonely.
We have seen the elms grow tall. We have seen cities built, burned, and built again. The only constant has been the tower, a silent companion through the ages. You can imagine why this recent destruction has stirred my sister so.
If you do nothing else, make that man pay for what he did here.
I need to know about praying for the support of the gods.
We will tell you what we can.
Okay, so you already did. Farewell.
Before you go, tell me this, old one. I'm curious. If you were to subdue your enemy, what would you do with him? What would give you peace?
I need to understand our history so it may be put to rest, nothing more. I would return him to the wheel of life and death so he may trouble me no more. I wish to undo the harm he's caused. I would set him on a better path. I would take his place and power for myself. No, I would return him to the wheel of life and death so he may trouble me no more. He needs to be able to go on.
Why let him off so easily? You would need a grove of elms like these to create enough parchment to write down his crimes against the world. There must be some greater punishment you can exact.
Surely, sister, she must do what is right for her.
All the same, think on this matter. Be assured in your course. In the end, it may mean all the difference, not just to his soul, but to yours.
Actually, to be truthful, I would kill him.
And be warned. Some questions have answers that can never be learned, and it is those that trouble the soul above all others. May you find an answer to yours.
Okay, that quest is completed. Now I got a new one. Council of Stars. That's where the Pharaoh need to pray to them, where they are said to commune with mortals. And another one. Court of the Penitents. Of the Penitents. My hallucinated memories are becoming more frequent now, barely distinguishable from the waking world. I am running out of time. I need to know what Thaos remembers about the past that we share, so that whatever it is that plagues my soul can be put to rest. Okay. Interesting. So that's that. What's the time here? I want to go over to the Blood Sands.
Did you hear that? About our awakenings being permanent?
Yeah, a lot. I'm sorry. That is something you did not want to know.
Yes? If those Delangon are right, you and I are stuck with our awakenings. Not quite the news I was hoping for.
I know. It just means we've got to focus on finding Thaos. Worrying won't change anything. It distresses me too. I'm concerned about you. How are you taking this? This isn't fair. We're stuck with memories and personalities from ages ago. At least one of you got some good news, right? I'm concerned about you. How are you taking this?
Oh, the knowledge that a barely civilized bumpkin will share my mind and body for the rest of my life? That's kind of you to ask. I'd always believed that Isfamir was an ailment I could cure myself of one day. But now, to think she'll be around forever.
You've been awakened for decades now. Did you really think anything would change? I can't imagine having her in my head. It's time you deal with this. You mean how she's stuck with you? Yeah, I can't imagine having her in my head.
You remember Brackenbury Sanitarium?
Yeah. He sighs, and on the bright side, I've got plenty of time to figure out how to deal with her. You've got to make that decision, Eloth. What do you think? Your whole life, you've been taking orders. If you can't assert your authority over her, you'll never have it anywhere else. Like it or not, she's part of you, and she could be a source of strength if you learn to work with her. Yeah, I agree with that.
It's strange. I've lived with her most of my life, and I've always seen her as an adversary. It should have occurred to me the day she stood up to my father. But there's something about being too close to a situation to see it clearly. It will be a relief to stop fighting her.
Yes, that's true. Even as he says that something struggles within him, the muscles in his face twitch and his skin quivers. His eyes roll back in his skull, exposing slivers of white. Sweat beads and glistens on his forehead. After several seconds, he sighs and looks back at you. That wasn't as difficult as I expected. I think, deep down, I've always hoped to find a solution elsewhere. When I was a child, I always thought my mother would come home with a mysterious cure, or that my father, without knowing it, could somehow send her away just as he'd called her forth. I can't pretend that I didn't spend years of my arcane training hoping that one of my instructors would have the answer somewhere in his grimoire. When I joined the Leaden Key, I hoped and believed that with enough loyal service, I'd gain the ear of someone in the organization who could help me. Even when I met you and realized your unique talents, I hoped that you might be able to reach into my soul the way I've seen you do with so many others. I've been looking for someone else to solve my problem, and now I realize that I've got to face it on my own. That's how it's supposed to be. You search for answers elsewhere and find them in yourself. Most people need that kind of guidance. You don't. I've been with you the whole way. I still am. You haven't been on your own. I got you through Brackenbury, remember? You search for answers elsewhere and find them in yourself. And that's true.
That's a charming way to think of things. And not an unpleasant one either.
Nope.
That reminds me of something else the Delamgon said. About the gods not being real.
He says it quietly, as if afraid someone might overhear him. I don't know what that meant. They did tell us to pray to the gods, so that can't be entirely true. I expect we'll figure that out. What that means eventually. Don't tell me you're getting your panties in a knot about something new. They did tell us to pray to the gods, so that can't be entirely true.
Yes, I suppose so. Still, I can't help but worry at the state we'd be in if that was somehow true. If there were no power guiding us in this life and shepherding us to the next.
But why can't you just do it on your own? You don't need a god to go through life. You just you're responsible for your own actions. You don't need a god to tell you did wrong or right. You should just know it inherently. So don't think about it. I'm sure we'd find our way on our own. Let's just hope that's not the case. Yeah, I'm sure we'd find our way on our own. Yep.
I hope you're right.
Well, we're stopped. Let's discuss something else. Like what? So you've made peace with Ishmael? What's that like? Relaxing, more so than I expected. As contentious as she is, I imagined that letting her in would merely unleash the torrent. But now that I'm not fighting her, it seems she isn't fighting me. And you were right, I found much to learn from her. How may it be? Okay, cool. Alrighty. So we helped him with his issue. Anybody else has any questions?
Yeah. Sure.
All right. It's a warrior, wolf companion. Anyone with a name here? Warrior, tribeswoman. Nope. Alright, where am I trying to get to? Going the wrong way. The warrior. That's a supplicant. There is no greater honor than dying for one's tribe. If some fall in battle, how is this different? Really? So I'm going to go ahead and close down this episode, and when we come back, we will be going into the blood sands. I think that's what that's called. And the blood sands. Yep. Okay. So if you're enjoying, click like, leave a comment, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Sahara out.